Hi, my name is Taylor Touchstone, and for this project that was assigned to me was the Hot Topic presentation, and this is for our sport law class that we take at Concordia. For my Hot Topic presentation, I chose to do some research on Ryan Lochte in the Rio 2016 Olympics, plus along with the other swimmers that were involved in this event. Like I said, I'm Taylor Touchstone. The article that I chose to review was by CNN, and the title of it was Ryan Lochte will be suspended 10 months, source says. And this was published on Thursday, September 8th, 2016. So a little less than a year ago, or yeah, more than less than a year ago. But anyways, basically what happened in the Rio Olympics, this really didn't have anything to do with the Olympics itself or even the sport of swimming. Four swimmers, Ryan Lochte, Gunnar Bentz, Jack Conger, and James Fegan, were out partying one night after their events were over for swimming and that sport had been done and the Olympics had moved on to another sport. They were out partying, and how it goes, the story goes in their words, is that they were at a gas station and someone attacked them, and so all their valuables and all their money and everything like that, they reported it to the police, whole 9 yards. But as more research was done by the Rio police and more evidence was collected, the story that the swimmers were claiming weren't lining up with the video surveillance and eyewitnesses and what they were saying. So their story came into question, and then the swimmers' stories started not lining up with each other. So a lot of questions were raised during these events, and very unhappy police and all of that stuff. But after a lot of things took place, Ryan Lochte and a couple of other swimmers were actually arrested and held because the Rio police thought that they had fabricated the story. Now, Ryan Lochte has come out and said that he did exaggerate the story that he told the police, that not everything took place, but he still claims to this day that it did happen. But all the evidence points otherwise. So I guess it's more on this Hot Topic, it's more of like what you want to choose, whose side. Evidence is saying that it wasn't true, like it didn't happen, and then they're saying that it did. And this has kind of ruined the swimmer's reputation. Like, they will be known as, they're not going to be known as the one that won the gold medal anymore. They'll be the one known, as the events that took place with that robbery and they lied. And so this is going to follow them the rest of their lives, which sucks. But they should, if it is false, if the story was false and that they did make it all up, that they should be punished for it. So that was kind of the little summary over the events that took place. For me, when I was thinking of the legal considerations to think about in this case, I found three kind of that I thought that would go with that, and it was a crime. Either whoever it was, either if the swimmers made it up, it was a crime that they lied to police and made all this stuff up and made a huge deal out of it. But if it was someone else, it was also a crime. Crime, the definition is criminal law defines criminal conduct and prescribes the punishment to be imposed on one person convicted of engaging in such act. The other one that I also thought would apply to this case was assault. If it is true, the swimmers were technically assaulted by whoever attacked them and were robbed of their money. And then also, I thought free speech versus individual rights came into this, more under the free speech, it says to promote a balance between both sides, the plaintiffs and the defense, right to preserve one's reputation and the defendant's constitutional right of free speech. So basically just like the swimmers, if the events did take place or if they didn't, the swimmers do have a right to say their own story and like what they believe happened and all of that, and have rights of their own to prove that all of this did happen. And a little subcategory that I found under free speech was they were public figures, and this was an individual who has, because of his or her activities, commanded sufficient continuing public interest. So this was definitely one of the biggest topics that had come out of the Summer Olympics, and I mean, I think they had access to the media to bring this to them right away, and it was it was all over the newspapers and all over the news, so it was something, the robbery, fake or real, it was definitely worldwide known, and definitely had ruined some of the swimmers' reputations. So the implications that I bring up was, I guess the real question is, was the story true? I mean, I think a lot of people are leaning towards no, just because the evidence is more factual basis. I mean, they have surveillance, they have tons of eyewitnesses, but I mean, again, Ryan Lochte will not back down on what he says happened, so I guess it's really up to you to decide and to gather all the information, and who knows. I believe that I think something did happen, but I don't think it was as big as they claimed it to be, and I don't think it needed at all to be taken to this great length, because if the story was true, the athletes, their reputations are first of all ruined. They were also, a lot of them had been fined, and they're paying for the lies that they told. And again, their career, this is going to follow them in their careers the rest of their lives. Just kind of like the Tom Brady and the Patriots with the Deflategate thing. Like, a lot of people remember them forever as being a cheater, and so I think that's what kind of sucks about this whole thing, is that it will follow them and it will ruin their reputation, and it already has. If the story was not true, and the swimmer side of the story was not true, they have been fined and charged money. So the thing again, some of them are facing suspension, which can even ruin their future careers as going on in the Olympics or stuff like that. So I feel like a decision needs to be based. I think it's more of Ryan Lochte, whose career is up in the balance because he was the main guy. But if he's suspended for I think it's the World Championships, then that can definitely affect him getting into the next Olympics. So that was my presentation and my hot topic, and I hope you enjoyed it.